Welcome to the next episode of The Mushroom. I don't know if you might have noticed, the sound quality is lower this time.
Budget got cut. No
The
sponsors
budget got
from the last video.
COVID times call for desperate measures. And this is our first remote recording of an episode. I have Andrea back again, and we are in wave 2, the second wave, and so we're trying to social distance and not see each other as often. And so here we are recording separately in our own houses. Welcome back, Andrea.
Thank you. Glad to be back. I'm in my room with kitty slippers on.
And I'm waiting on my Uber Eats delivery of my Thai food.
All good things. That's what's great about COVID. You can do things in your PJs.
I think it's here because my dog is going crazy. Okay. So I'll
go get the
actually
food.
I'll take Andrea with me.
Okay. I can be part of the journey.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, my mom was just like, she's like saying, like, maybe if the world were blind and we only had our voices, then like we wouldn't judge each other. But then I'm like, we would judge each other's voices.
Yeah.
I'm like, we would find the differences in our voice and be attracted to like the most nice voice, the most rich voice. And then discriminate the ugly voices.
But I don't think it's just human nature. I think it's animal nature in general.
Yeah.
Because even birds, when they put like ankle tags on them for studies, the birds started mating with the ones with the most colorful ankle tags.
Oh my god.
Have you heard that?
That's so cool.
Yeah, so then they had to like redo the study and just, like, make the tags less flamboyant.
Yeah. That's so funny.
That's the thing, that's animal nature. Like, you always have to like find some distinguishing factor.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I have this. I was like, oh, I have this. Like, oh, I think that's really nice, and I want it too. So I'm gonna mate with you.
Yeah.
So that our children can have it.
Exactly. Because you have to use like some kind of distinguishing factor to choose between mates if you have more than one.
Yeah. Exactly. And then I wonder, like, what does my biology want me to search for?
And if you go on birth control, then
you could alter it, no?
Apparently it alters, like, what men you're attracted to.
Yeah, and then I've heard for some people that, like, it even, like, alters their sexualities. Like, people are, like, they were on birth control so that they liked men. And then, as soon as they came off of it, then they were like, oh, I actually like women.
I think I saw a TikTok about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we saw the same TikTok.
I think we did. But
I think this is a great transition into our topic, actually.
Yeah.
We got here naturally
after
47 minutes.
Oh, shoot. Speaking of birth control.
My birth control alarm.
Yo, we're psychic.
Yo, this is amazing. We did it.
I know.
Okay, so welcome to the podcast. 47 minutes later, we got to the topic.
You won't hear the 47 minutes.
No, we'll cut that out. But
yeah,
here
basically
we are.
Agatha eating.
I was eating my Thai chicken curry that came on Uber Eats. Please sponsor me, Uber Eats.
Please sponsor Agatha. She needs a second microphone.
I do. And now I'm not even using my high-tech mic. Our topic that we want to talk about this episode is now that we're both single, recently single, but still, what are we looking now for a future partner? What are our qualifications / just in general, like, where do we plan to look? And also maybe how how do we imagine our future or our next future relationship to be, or our next future man's, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
basically.
we can come up with some dreams, some aspirations, and through the power of manifestation, maybe speaking it out into the universe will bring us what we want.
I sure hope so. I hope it's like Santa Claus, where like magically the toy that you wished for appears on Christmas Day.
Yeah, not because your parents heard you say it.
No, not at all. It's because Santa knows.
Not because they read your letter to Santa.
No, no. Those are private. I still remember one year when I asked for a best friend that moved away to like their home country. I asked for their phone number because the day that she had left, I think we had like a falling out and I was mad at her. And I was like, "You know what? Screw you. I'm glad you're moving away." But then
Oh my god.
but then afterwards I felt so bad about it because I'm like, "You know what? She was a really good friend and now she's gone forever." And I never got to say that she actually meant a lot to me. And
This
so
is
I
so
asked,
sad.
I know, and so I asked Santa, quote unquote, for her phone number because I wanted to call her up and make things right.
Oh my god.
And so I never got to say I'm sorry and I'll
Yo,
miss you.
yo, if I was your parents, I would read that and cry and then scour the internet for this girl's phone number. Update, we found we found her on Facebook. Andrea's gonna add her. And
I'm
we'll come
gonna
back
see
with
if
an
she
update.
remembers. I remember I was very um I guess like aware that people can go away in your life.
Bro, that's so sad. Ah!
Because I was like, I remember I would like collect things.
I mean, it's a easier way to learn that lesson without having to deal with death. You
Yeah,
know?
basically.
Like the other alternative is like someone dies.
Yeah, but it was like she died all of a sudden because I
Yeah.
couldn't reach out or anything with her.
Yeah.
It was just like that was it. And it also, and because it ended so like terribly, how I remember it, I was just like, oh my god.
Did you cry
You
at
know,
the
like
time?
I think so. But yeah, as a kid, I remember like after that, I would like be
Because I don't,
super like,
for some reason, I don't think of you as a person that cries. Even as a kid, I don't think I ever saw you cry.
no, I don't. But by myself,
Like,
I
I
was
would cry
sad.
all the time.
Yeah,
I'm a very
I
easy
don't
crier.
I don't cry. It takes a lot for me to cry, just because it takes so much work. To me, it's a lot of effort to cry.
For me, it's a lot of effort to hold back a cry. Like,
For
that's
me,
more
that's
effort to
easier.
me than actually crying.
Crying is a commitment to me because then once it starts, there's no stopping it. It gives me a headache, makes my nose stuffy. I wake up with frog eyes, and I just feel like I'm hungover the next day. Like, whatever future mans I have is gonna have to deal with my non crying tendencies or my holding back of crying.
True. I feel like my future mans will have to deal with me crying.
Yeah.
Conversely.
Yeah. Takes a lot to make me cry. Well, I mean, not a lot, because sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, a puppy, and I cry. But if I am crying, it means this is worth crying for. So pay attention.
See, but this is the thing. Um, question for you.
Sure.
You haven't started like dating yet since
No.
the breakup, like actively searching.
Yeah, correct.
I did a little bit, but now I've kind of taken a break from that. Um, on your end, when do you think you'll be ready to start looking? Like, what needs to change in your life? Is it you? Is it your circumstances? Is it like a
I don't know.
feeling?
Because, I mean, right now, I'm content with being by myself.
So do you think
And
it's going to be
so,
like a lonely feeling
yeah, I guess
that's going to
so.
prompt you?
Because right now, I'm just living my days. And especially with COVID and stuff, I just
Oh
feel
yeah.
like it's less likely to happen. So I'm like, might as well just take advantage of this solace time to just do things that I want to do and to focus on work and saving money and trying to drive. Oh my god, I still need to do that.
So is
I
it
don't
just
know.
going to be like a feeling from inside of you that you
Yes.
think is going to prompt it?
Yeah, I think so. Because that same feeling basically prompted me to start pursuing who is now my ex,
Mhm.
because I was like, you know what? I do want to try that. I want to have a relationship. And there's this guy, and he's really nice. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he likes me based on all the evidence I've collected. And I was like, you know what? Let's start taking action. Let's just start doing things. Let's make this happen. And so then I
So,
started pursuing that more actively.
but do you think it was the feeling of wanting to pursue a relationship that told you, okay, let's start, and then he seems like a good candidate? Or was it the fact that he was a good enough candidate that prompted you to feel like wanting to start a relationship?
So you're
Do you know
asking
what
if
I
it was
mean?
like
Like,
him or
yeah, like
me.
which one prompted the other?
I feel like for us it was a build up of prompting. So sometimes he would prompt and I would be like, "Oh, prompt received. Here's a small prompt back." And then I would be excited in the moment, but then a part of me was just like, "No, I don't want to. Not right now."
Oh, so there was still a part of you that wasn't ready.
Yeah, there was a part of me that wasn't ready in all of our build up.
Okay, so it was
But
him.
then yeah, it was him, but then also sometimes me.
Okay. Because I guess like you've had like quote unquote suitors before him,
Yeah, sure.
but they just weren't like up to your standards, I guess.
No. No.
So finally, like you have a man who you deem like, okay, I actually want him back. So let's try and start up this relationship thing.
Yeah.
So do you think that's what's going to happen in the future?
I think so. I feel like I'm not the
Because
type to, I don't know. I mean, I have like, cuz I always make it so that I know that they are also interested. So like throw in a few like traps, I guess.
but so like the dating app world sort of relies on the opposite trend, right?
Yeah.
Where like you have to be yourself open and ready and looking, and then the right person comes along after that happens.
Yeah, which is why I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't tried it, but I'm not sure if I'm a dating app person. Like, maybe it depends on the app, but I feel like it's some sort of mindset that I'd have to change.
I agree.
Because I like the fire building up, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like where you leave like a slight trail of gasoline behind and you put a match in their hands, like, go ahead if you want it.
That's so true.
But then all they do is light a birthday candle and you're like, no. Or they waste the match and you're like, oh, come on.
Or they light some other trail.
Yeah, and you're like, no, wrong trail. We had something here. And then you just like forget about it and then you go and pour gasoline elsewhere.
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. Maybe it is a mindset that I have to also get myself to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe I just haven't been to that point yet. Because, like, Tinder and stuff just, like, doesn't work for me yet. Yet. I'm saying yet, because maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
it will.
Or maybe Bumble or Hinge or
I
some
tried
other
Bumble. I don't
website.
like it. Because it's like, oh, I didn't
Because you're
really
like,
like his answer to this one prompt. But do I still swipe right? Because that kind of, like, means that I like the whole package. I don't know.
or it means that you have something to fight about for fun.
Yeah, but what if it's just like, oh, he's boring?
Ugh,
What
no.
if it's like he's super hot, but it's like, what do you like to do
Mm,
on a Saturday? I like to go to the gym.
no.
And it's like, do I still swipe right? Because then I'm just kind of
No.
like accepting that he's boring or something.
Well, I mean, maybe he just likes to go to the gym, you know? Maybe he
Yeah,
just likes to be fit. He's taking care of his health. I would have to see what kind of conversation he comes up with. To me, it's about the conversation. But
same. But
then
at
in
the same
turn,
time, to even like start the conversation feels like so much effort. That's why I feel like I need to be in a mindset to be searching for someone.
yeah, I think. But then there's like that saying that like love will come to you if you don't search or when you're not looking. And I'm like, really? But then you hear like some story that came straight out of a movie, and you're like, what? How did you manage to do that? Like,
Yeah.
your therapist.
Yeah, so my therapist said that she met her husband, um, like her and her friends went to a bar one weekend, and it was the weekend that she spoke out loud for the first time that she was done looking for men. And she was done looking for love, and she was like done with all of it. And she spoke it out into the universe. She went out with her friends to a bar, and the way that she met her husband that night was she got like pushed into him and he caught her. And I was like, are you serious? This is a freaking movie.
That's fake. Crazy.
So, I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like sometimes people are like somehow pushed into your lives.
Literally.
Like, like no. Like the universe wants it. I like to believe in like fate, but I'm also like, screw you, I'll do whatever I want. But I also feel like sometimes there are like strings being pulled around, because Because like the connections that I have, or like the coincidences that I've had, like when I like with like the story of how me and my ex started. Like I met his sister. Like I called his house before I even like knew anything. We had one history class together. We I was looking for a part-time job. I could have worked anywhere, honestly. I also messed up like two of my potential job interviews. And then I landed where I did. And then so did he. And then we remembered each other. And then I also could have left because I was in search of like a new part-time job, but then I stayed. And then even with like my work, like yeah, I did throw myself into creative industries, but then also like I had that one lady who had a connection to these other people in the industry who had a connection to like the boss lady of the company that I work at.
True, and you just kind of like somehow stumbled into the job that you're in right now, but somehow there's so many like connections
Yeah, cuz
where
like
you're
it's like
like
I did
it's kind of
it
like it was meant to
myself.
happen.
Yeah, like I did do things myself. Like I did have a hand in where I ended up, but it's also crazy that like looking back you see like all of these like little like Easter eggs where you're like, what? That was connected to here and there, and it just seems like a giant spider web of things. And so,
Yeah, it's kind of like the butterfly effect, like one little thing in your past like set up your future.
yeah. And so it's crazy how life can work that way. And so I feel like while, like, we all have choices and we can decide to take action on things, we can throw away opportunities, we can choose the opportunity. That's all just like,
How much choice do we really have?
I don't know. I feel like we still do. Because I'm like, are we in some sort of script that we don't know?
I feel so. This is what
To
I
like,
think. This is what I think about life. This is my theory. I think that we are like pre-programmed to make all of the decisions that we make. So like yes,
interesting.
we kind of do have freedom of choice, but I think at whatever point we are in our lives, given a choice like a fork in the road, A or B, we just have all of these past experiences already programmed into us to cause us to, if there were multiple timelines and the timelines have all been the same up until that point, we will always choose option A, for example, because everything leading up to that has shaped our reasoning, you know? Like, on the other hand, I do also kind of believe in like multiverse theory, where
Mm-hmm.
like the universe kind of splits into different alternate universes at these sort of forks in the road,
Yeah.
and then the timelines could continue on in
Yes.
completely different
Yeah.
paths at all of these different forks in the road, whatever they may be.
Yeah. I always think about that. I'm like, what is alternate universe me up to right now? I mean, the
But
all
at the same time,
multiple moons.
at the same time, I think that that might not be possible, and maybe we are just pre-programmed to make every decision that we make because everything just happens in one way, you know?
I like the multiverse. I like to. I
I
like. I'd
like
like.
it.
I'd like to think that somewhere some version of me is exploring the other option, no matter if it's good or bad.
I would like to believe that and subscribe to that theory because it's the more fun version.
It is.
But I
Instead
just
of,
think what I do believe, what I truly believe is that given the same option every time, we will just take the same choice. Unless we have some sort of new input in between our first decision and like a potential second decision.
mm-hmm.
Like, let's say we make a decision first between A or B, we choose A, but then given like a year's time, we have more life experience, whatever, then we'll potentially choose B.
Yeah. Maybe it's like probability, and whatever happens in between is just like, oh, well, that's going to alter this. And you'll be more likely to choose this.
Yeah, but given all of our previous experiences are the same and everything that's ever happened to us is the exact same,
Yeah.
I think we would be pre-programmed to choose the same decision.
Yeah. But then that's also because we've had the same, just the same experience. So that nothing would alter or deter us from choosing the opposite.
See, and this is where like me and Monica's ex would butt heads because he would try to play devil's advocate and say like, okay, but what if I choose my decisions based on a coin flip?
That's stupid. First of
And
all,
I'm like,
you don't make life decisions on a coin flip. Although sometimes maybe,
but I'm
but maybe it's small ones. Small ones I'll allow.
but I'm
But
just
big life
thinking
decisions.
if this is like all alternate universes with the same exact timelines and we're just like lining them up row by row all next to each other and we press play at the same time at this decision, then everything about that coin flip will result in the coin flipping in the same result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you will flip that coin at the same time as all the other universes. You will use the same force with your thumb.
Yep.
You will, like, all the air currents in the room will be the same. So that coin flip will always be the same.
But
Do you know what I
then,
mean?
yeah. But then, what if in some alternate universe, somebody like sneezes or turns on the fan at that moment in that one universe, or
But that's why I'm thinking
there's some
that
other
there's a
factor.
reason for everything.
Yeah.
So in all the universes, that person would turn on that fan because they're leading their own life. And in every universe, they're also at their own fork in the road. Like, do I turn on this fan or do I not? And
Yeah,
they're
but it
always going to choose turn on the fan.
I guess, but what do we consider every decision we make a fork in the road?
Yes. In this simulation in my brain, yes.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Every
wow,
every decision and every possibility of anything ever happening
that's wild.
has multiple options, but because of programming, it will always be the same option.
Yeah, that makes sense, but wild to think about. Eh,
That's just how I see the universe. So I'm
Yeah,
just trying to like put it into words.
yeah. I don't know. For me, I guess the thing that makes me a bit like awe is that it feels like we have lack of control. And then I'm like, dang it! I should go do something out of character just because of it.
But also see that as pre-programmed.
I know, which is why it makes me madder. So I'm like, no, I'm feeding into it, and so then I'm like, maybe. if I don't do the thing that I said I was going to do, then I'm defeating it. But then I'm like, no, because that was also a thing.
But it's kind of like if, let's say there's a god,
Okay.
and the god is writing the story of our lives. Well, the story of the universe, but let's focus on us as the characters that are in the spotlight for now.
Okay.
Let's say God is the author and he's coming up with a story timeline, and us as the characters are just like,
It's like, this is a boring story. Get up and do something.
us as the characters are like upset at decisions that we've made because that's what the author has decided for us.
Yeah.
But the author also has made us as characters, especially you, want to be independent and different. And you would want to rebel against the author, but he's the one who made you that way.
I know. That's why I'm like, I can't wait. That's where I feel trapped. It's time to cry.
So it's just like you and your, like, this is how I see the universe, at least. You and your, like, characters that you have in your story.
I know, I torture them.
You torture them, but you made them that way.
I know, I make them tormented.
And you make them do and choose to do the things that they do.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, don't do that. But I'm like, writing it. Like, I cannot believe you just did that. Like, I'm so ashamed of you.
So we got off topic again.
Yeah, we did. I know. We suck.
What were we talking about?
We were trying to talk
like
about
the
relationships
and the strings that tie you to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how much control we really have.
Yeah, and then
I mean, in the moment, you have no clue what life is going to bring you, and you kind of do have to make decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be worried about making the right decision, because whatever, I believe, this is where I kind of feel some, like, burden taken off of me about making the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is why I think my perception and my view of the universe is kind of, like, helps me with, like, the burden of decision making. It makes me, like, sort of reassures me that whatever decision I'm compelled to make in the moment is the right decision, because in all
There's
universes
no
I would have
wrong.
made this decision.
Yeah, there's no wrong decision.
It's just my decision, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. No regrets. It's like back to my grade 2 story. Where I was just like, I need to appreciate people while they're here.
Exactly. Anyway, I think we're going to be ready to date when we're ready to date.
Yeah.
But I think it's also good to maybe, because I've heard this on other podcasts from like people who are in their 30s and married, like what brought them to their partner. And some, like, advice that I've heard is like, actually, like, sit down and write a list of qualities and characteristics and traits that you want your ideal future partner to have and to be. And like, don't settle. Like, obviously, you're never going to have like 100% of the things on that list, but you're going to, like, actually put into words and put onto paper like what you value in people.
Yeah.
And the type of people that you want around yourself.
Yeah, it's what my coworker was. This from a 30-something-year-old
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah, she's also in her 30s, and she recommended that I do that.
But then B, they also said, like, work on yourself to become that
Yes.
person that you wrote about.
Yeah. So it
Because
can't.
law of attraction, you attract what you are.
But then also, I'm like, if if I'm looking for someone who has qualities that I don't, I'm like, would be if I end up being that person with those qualities, then aren't we the same? Or there's too much of the same?
I think definitely there's some qualities that I would want someone to like mirror like in me, not to be the same but to be the opposite.
Yeah.
So we can be like kind of compatible in that way.
Yeah.
But I think basic things like values
Mhm.
and like trustworthy, communicative, respectful, passionate about their hobbies or their interests, like that kind of thing, I think can apply to,
Like
obviously
general.
should apply to both people in the relationship.
Yeah.
But if it's like, or like sleeps on the right side of the bed and you're like, damn, I guess I gotta start doing that if I want to attract someone. And then you both like to sleep on the right side of the
Yeah,
bed and then
because
it
then
just doesn't work.
you end up learning how to sleep on the right side of the bed. And then you gotta, so what you have to do is put down what you, oh wait, hold on, I was like I was like, you have to put
Write
down what
down
you
what you
want.
don't want.
And I'm like, wait, no. Opposite of what we want. But for me, or I guess they've always got to be witty.
Yeah,
That's how you get me.
we like that banter.
It has to be like witty and charming, where I'm like, wow, that was, you handled that so well. Even if
I
it's
think
just
in
something
general, like
basic.
you want someone that you can be proud of,
Yeah.
whether it's in a social setting or in their career
Yeah, like
or how kind they are.
I just want to like take this person and just always be in awe of how their brain works.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm just like, wow, like I would not have thought of doing it or handling it that way, but you did and it was great. Like even if it's just like a small thing, I'm just always like fascinated. I'm like, wow, you did it this way. Just getting to see someone talk about something that they love is so great.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like people can be like, "Oh, I'm being annoying," but I'm like, "No, please show me your brain. I want to
Yeah,
see what
and
goes on in there."
I think I am gonna do this. I'm gonna write a list. And I did this before. I did this in like grade 9 or something, and I wrote a list of like what I want my future partner to be. And I'm gonna look at that list again. I'm gonna see. But obviously, like I was like 15.
Oh my god, please share.
I gotta find it.
You've gotta. And then,
I think it was
or
based on like Louis Tomlinson from One Direction.
or what you do is you make a list right now and then compare it to 15-year-old you.
Okay, wait, I'm opening it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll cut this out if it's too melodramatic, but I want to read it to you.
Okay, please do.
I'm sure it's very melodramatic.
Got it.
Okay, so it's called I Want
Okay.
a Happy Person,
Yes.
someone
Agreed.
who is normal.
Um
The standard already.
what does normal mean?
Someone who comes from a good home.
Okay.
I guess, I mean, I think that's still important to me. Like, I want someone who has, who's close with their family and who like has a support system,
Just a good family
an
support
example of
system.
love in their life from
Oh,
family,
I
you know?
see.
Like I want them to like know what love looks like in general, like whether it's like from parents that love them or siblings that love them. Like I want someone to love them.
Yeah. Someone other than you.
Yeah. Someone who will let me figure him out, not push me away, but not pull me in.
Someone who will figure me out.
No, someone who will let me figure him
Let
out.
me figure him out. Okay.
Not push me away, but not pull me in.
Huh.
I feel like that's still kind of the same. Because
Yeah, I feel
that's
like,
what I mean, where like I don't want something to be forced. I just want him to be interesting enough for me to want to figure him out.
yes. Like a
And for him
puzzle.
to let me.
Yep.
Someone who has only one or two hobbies that he's really passionate about.
Oh my god, so
I'm cutting it
specific.
down the limit. One or two hobbies.
One or two, that's it. I will only listen to your one or two hobbies. I do not care about the rest.
Someone who knows who he is and what he's worth.
Yes.
Bro, 15-year-old me. When did I
15-year-old
write this?
you.
Maybe I'm not as dumb as I thought.
No, you're good. So far, pretty good.
So far, pretty good. I created this October 23rd, 2012, and I last modified it March 20th, 2013. So I guess I added a
Oh,
little bit.
8 and 7 years ago.
Yeah. So this is 8 to 7 years old. Okay, next line. Someone who will make me laugh harder than he'll ever make me cry.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a low bar, but yes.
Unless if he makes you cry of laughter.
Or of happiness, like happy
Or of
tears.
happiness, yeah.
Okay. Someone who can understand the difference between cuddling and fooling around and who will do both with me but never interrupt one with the other.
Oh my god. That's so specific. It's like you had a bad experience where you're like, I just want to cuddle.
Well, sometimes, yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, okay, this is something that's changed. I feel like interrupting one with the other is acceptable nowadays for me.
It
Not
depends.
always.
If the cuddle is heating up, then okay. But if it's
Yeah,
not and you're just enjoying and you're just suddenly like, "What?" It's like
exactly.
not what I was
But
expecting.
I feel like the line can be blurred. I will allow a little bit of line blurring nowadays.
A little bit. Just a
Okay,
tinge.
next. Someone who will leave me alone when I need it.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's also true, you know.
Yeah,
I am still introverted. Sometimes I do
you
just
are,
like
but
please just leave me alone.
I know, but I'm trying to like think of, or at least you and your past relationship
Well,
were
my
like,
past
I
relationship
know.
was kind of the other way around, but I feel like
Yeah,
there are definitely men out there who I would want a break from.
yeah. But I feel like that was also because you knew something was off.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're like, don't leave me alone.
exactly. I don't trust you.
Yeah, basically.
Someone who isn't pushy.
I mean, yeah.
Someone who will make me prove to him, though not too long or difficult, that I am worthy of being let in when his guard is down.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone
He's
who will
gotta,
love me no more and no less than I love him.
well, I mean, that's the ideal, isn't it? Well, I mean, you would hope that you're both equally in love with each other.
Yeah, but that's never possible.
I know.
Someone who isn't afraid of having fun.
Yeah, they better dance
Yeah. Someone
or
who will
sing.
dance around the house with me when
Yeah.
I blast music. That's the next one. I definitely, yeah, so that's something that I didn't get in my last relationship. I want someone who's fun.
Yes.
and
I
who
want
will
someone.
dance with me when I blast music and not just like look at me like I'm crazy.
I want. I also want someone to like interact with, like when we're singing "Total Eclipse of the Heart."
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like
you don't have to go as hard because we go
no,
really hard,
we do. We end up screaming.
but I want someone to not be afraid to have fun.
Yeah.
Like I feel like 15-year-old me had it. Like, yes. Yes, Agatha, that's what I want.
Good
Okay.
job.
Someone here's the next one. Someone who will not only let me sing as loudly as I want, but also join in with me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be so fun in a relationship. I want someone to like duet with me, like sing duets, like that High School
Yes.
Musical one, or Love is an Open Door.
Yeah.
Like I want someone to duet with me. Even if you suck, like I suck as well. Let's suck together.
Exactly.
Someone who blasts the radio in the car whenever his favorite song comes on.
Oh my god. That'd be so cute.
Someone who doesn't necessarily like pop music, but still listens and learns all the lyrics because it's catchy and admits it.
Yes. I mean, obviously not necessary.
But I think the key here is like don't be too proud.
Yeah, just like be afraid, or to not be afraid to let go
Yeah. Don't be
in front
like
of
pop music
people.
is shitty, like bye, I'm not listening to it. Like I don't want someone like that.
Yeah.
Someone who will give me piggyback rides in public wherever whenever.
I mean, that one sounds like Tumblr, but
But I feel like it goes with the like the is not afraid to have fun.
yeah, which would
Like
basically
that's kind of the
also
same
like
theme.
link back to just being confident in yourself.
Yes, definitely.
So you gotta not care about what people think.
Someone who will do cliche romantic things once in a while just for the purpose of laughing at it later. I,
Ironically romantic.
I guess that's what I was looking for at 15.
Yeah, because you were like, nah, I don't need feelings. You were like turned off by
But
any
I still wanted it.
gestures of romanticism. But yeah, you still wanted it, so you could laugh at it.
Yeah, but I guess I still kind of am that way where like big romantic gestures kind of make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I think if they're done ironically or with like a sense of like self-awareness, then it can be funny and I'll appreciate it.
Yes.
Because it kind of takes the edge off where you're just like, I know this is stupid, but like here's like a big thing of roses and you're like, ah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Someone who will get along with my friends.
Yeah. That
This is still
is,
a big
it
one.
has to be. You know, it's that the Spice Girls had it right.
Yep. You gotta get with my friends. But don't get with them.
No, don't get with them. Because friendship's supposed to last forever.
Yeah. Oh, the next one. I feel like okay, the next one, this one is still a like one of the biggest things that attract me to a man. Someone who will tease me all the time in front of my friends, in brackets,
Oh
nothing
my
too
god.
mean, but also not be cute about it, so that they won't think that we're just another gross sappy couple.
Oh my god. That is you.
That is me. Like
Oof.
I want someone to just like tease me playfully, but not like too cute, but still kind of brutal. But I
Yeah.
like it. Like
Yeah,
I
you
like
do.
that banter.
That is you.
Someone who will apologize when he does something he knows is wrong and isn't afraid of swallowing his pride.
Yes.
Bro, 15-year-old me though.
She knew what was up.
I had it figured out. What the hell? More than me even right now. If only I read this before I started dating my ex.
Advice from 15-year-old you.
Someone who is polite and kind to others, even strangers.
Yes. If they're rude, they're gone. Bye.
Someone who treats his family like gold.
Yeah.
Someone who will explain to me what I've done wrong when I get him mad so that I'm not apologizing for nothing.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Bro,
just like be
why did
communicative.
I understand relationships so much more at 15 than I do now?
Because you read all those fanfics.
Oh, man. But yeah, just like communication. Like, tell me what I did so we can
Just be
fix it.
honest.
And don't just like, oh, I'm mad, and then silent treatment.
Yeah, no, that don't fly. Toxic.
Someone who respects and appreciates what I like and what I like to do and supports me in it and actually cares even when he doesn't get it.
Yes.
So just like
Just be
support my
supportive.
interests. Yeah. And like care when I'm talking about stuff even if you don't understand.
Yeah. Like if he's not in science and you're talking about your gels.
Yeah. Cuz that's what you guys do, like my friends.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about my science, and like obviously you guys aren't in science. You have no real science background.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. That sounds awesome."
It is. Like
And
I
I
do my
feel
best.
validated.
I do my best to try and absorb whatever there is. I'm like, okay, I think I understand 10% of this.
Yeah, but I hate when people are just like, "Ah, yeah, I just don't get it." So, let's talk
Yeah,
about
no,
something else.
that's just sad. Like if somebody is willing to make an effort to try and explain it to me, then I'm gonna do my best to try and understand and be like, you know what? That's
Yeah.
cool. Especially if it's what they're in, then I'm like, yeah, I will listen.
Like
It's
I love
important.
hearing about
Part of your
your
life.
like animation stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes like every field, every specialized field has its jargon.
Yes, it does.
So sometimes Andrea will say something like, "Oh, there's like all these assets." I'm like, "Explain again what exactly an asset is and why you have to keep it in like a catalog."
You just gotta.
Oh, next one. Someone who listens to me when I rant on about my day and then has an opinion about it and shares it with me.
Yeah. Communication.
I like that. Just like caring about your day and then being able to like talk about it and not
Yeah.
just like,
Because
okay, yeah.
then that means that they listened and they're also contributing to the conversation, and
Yeah.
also making you feel like, oh, I did get through to them. They picked up on this part of what I said and want to learn
And they
more.
picked up on my emotion about it and they
Yes.
also feel like, oh, like my boss was annoying today.
It's
And
like,
they're like,
yeah, screw
yeah,
him. He's a
screw
jerk.
him.
It's like, right? Such a jerk.
Someone who always has something to say about his day.
Yeah. I want to hear about your day.
Someone
Tell
who is
me.
good with animals.
Yeah, if animals
Someone
hate
who is
you,
good with kids.
if animals hate you, that means there's some bad juju up there.
Yeah. And I think the thing with kids, I think I'm more lenient because I don't even think I'm good with kids. I
I don't
think
know.
it's something that you learn by being around kids, and because
Yeah.
like my family doesn't really have young kids in it, I'm kind of awkward around kids.
Yeah, I feel like at first I'm awkward, but then I remember what it was like being a kid, and I'm like, oh, it's just chilling.
But
That's
even with
it.
like babies, I'm like, do I
Oh,
hold
babies are
them?
scary. Babies, no, I do not
Yeah,
touch a baby because I will kill it. Maybe. Who knows? I'm scared. They're wiggly.
they are wiggly. Someone who
And
gives
then,
good advice when I ask for it.
yes.
I feel like that's also kind of meh. Like,
Well, I mean,
I can get advice from my friends if I really need it. I don't need my partner to be able to give me good advice, but
no,
I
but
think
it's it's always nice to have an opinion that could be helpful or a perspective even
yes, yes.
where you're
Like
just
I
like,
think if
ah,
they have all these characteristics already, I feel like they would be able to give advice.
exactly.
So it's kind of just like cumulative thing. Someone who understands my analogies.
Yeah. I mean, even if they don't understand, they try to be like, I'm sorry. So this is where I think you were going. Is that it? Did I get it right?
I feel like me and you, I think especially, speak in
Oh,
analogies,
we do all the time.
but it's in order to get our point across better.
It is.
So if you
We have
don't
to
understand the analogy, then I don't know how else to describe it to you.
we have to think abstractly to to get a simple point across. It's just fun.
Oh, and now we get to the more
Oh no, is it
these are more
Louis?
no, these are more like superficial things now.
Ooh, must be 6 feet.
Someone who has a classy or at least respectful fashion sense, and if not, will at least let me dress him.
Oh my god, that's you. That's still you.
I feel like I don't know. I
I
feel
mean,
like at this point in my life, if you have a fashion sense that you are confident in and proud of, then I'm like, cool, good for you. But if you
but
yourself are not confident in it and you don't like it, but you don't know how to change it, I'm willing to step in.
yes, but what if it's like they decide to show up in sweats to like a fancy dinner or something?
Oh,
Would you not want to dress them? I
yes, I
would
would.
dress
I
them.
definitely
Yeah.
would, yes.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean about like respectful fashion sense, like just like appropriate for the event.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Someone who is taller
No.
than me.
See, I knew it.
I mean, it's not a tall ask.
It's not a high bar.
I mean, I guess pun intended. Like I'm like 5'3". It's not hard to be taller than me.
Maybe
Um
it is. What about
someone
those 5'3" guys? What if he's the same height as you?
um I don't know. If he meets everything else, then like cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
What if he's great, but he just happens to be the same height as you?
Then sure. But if he's like shitty and he's short, then
Oh,
it's like
no. Oh. I hate that.
I know that it's like what do you have going for you?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, like ugly people, or I guess conventionally unattractive people
Yeah,
who have terrible personalities.
exactly.
And I'm like, what? You're not doing yourself any favors at all.
Like at least be a kind person if you're gonna be unattractive.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Someone who has strong arms to pick me up and hug me tightly with.
Oh my god, I get to stop. No.
If I'm honest, like
I want
abs
a good hug.
abs I've never like really seen the appeal of. Like it's like cool, nice to look at, but I'm not like that attracted.
Yeah,
I'd
I
prefer like strong arms than abs.
I feel the same, but it also doesn't even have to be like they have to be like ripped arms.
No, no, no. And I've never wanted ripped either.
No. Just like
Just like
lean? I don't know.
not even lean, just like if
Just regular.
just regular, but just hug me tight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Good hugs, like a good
Give good
hugger.
hugs.
Give
Yes.
good hugs
So if I were to edit
so that they're
this
not
for
hollow.
23-year-old me, it would be change strong arms to just be someone who gives good hugs.
Yes.
Next one. Wow, the bar is so low, Agatha.
Oh my god.
Someone
No
who has
shoes.
good personal hygiene.
I mean, yes. Obviously.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The bar's so low.
I know, but you put that as part of your list in case
I
a
guess, yeah.
guy came with all of these qualities, but he smelled.
Then I would buy him some body wash.
You just casually wash him.
I mean, like, I've done it before because men, for some reason, many men, I'm not going to say all men, but many men don't have a skin routine.
No,
And
they don't.
someone who struggled with acne since the age of 12, my skin routine is my holy grail. It's like
I see.
it's like the equivalent of like someone religious going to church every Sunday.
Oh my god. That makes sense, though.
Like, that is me. My skin routine is like everything to me. And for someone to have an oily face that then, because we're like kissing whatever,
Ugh.
our oily faces are touching, and then your oil goes on my
Nah.
face, and then I break out because of your oils.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. At least be willing to have a skin routine for the sake of my face.
Gotcha. See, for me, my skin routine was bar soap and Vaseline.
Yeah, but I was never making out with you, so I didn't care.
True. But you would have gotten Vaseline all over.
And then I would have broken out.
Yeah, you would have.
Vaseline makes me break out.
Dumped me.
I would have dumped you. No,
Like,
I would have casually replaced your Vaseline with some regular moisturizer.
Oh my god. Anyways, what's your next one?
Someone who will remember on his own to get me a present for my birthday.
Oh, wow.
The bar is
The
low.
bar is very low. Agatha.
Wow. Imagine having to remind your partner to get you
Please get me a birthday present. Also, our anniversary is coming up.
Reminder,
Don't forget
my birthday's
that.
this Saturday.
I set an invite in your calendar.
Oh,
Please get me a present. I set aside 2 hours of shopping for you.
Here's money to get me a present.
Yeah. I've e-transferred it.
Someone who is the perfect gift giver simply because he knows people well enough to figure out their perfect gift without even asking.
I mean, I feel like a good gift giver listens.
Yeah, so that just goes back to being a good listener.
Yeah.
Someone who will get me perfect gifts.
Oh wow. Okay, I guess you just really want present. You're like, boyfriend, present.
I think I just wanted someone who knows me. That's it.
Yeah.
Someone who will stay home. This one's long. Someone and very specific.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone. You're like, I'm ready.
I know for me, I'm like,
Oh, the next two are very specific. Honestly, the rest of it is very. It's very in time for the holidays.
Gotcha. Oh no.
Someone who will stay home with me and cuddle under a blanket on the couch, drinking hot chocolate and reading separate books on a cold winter night in December when there's a snowstorm outside and the view from the window is only white against a light gray sky full of more white.
You know what you just wanted to do? You wanted to sing Baby It's Cold Outside and have that recreated.
But isn't that a lovely scene?
Very lovely, but too specific.
This is where the 15-year-old comes out.
Yep.
Someone who will put his book away when he's done it and flip the TV channel to an old claymation Christmas special and close my book for me with a smile so I will watch it with him.
I'm like, sorry, when did you create this?
2012.
What month?
Wait, let me see. October.
Oh, you were gearing up for Christmas.
October 23rd, 2012.
Oh my god. You were just gearing up.
Yeah,
You're like,
the next 3 are Christmas related.
oh my god.
Someone who will bake with me and cook dinner with me to take to my parents' house for Christmas.
I mean, maybe he doesn't have to cook, but he can help.
Yes, I would like that. I would like someone who bakes with me,
Yeah.
or at least asks like, how can I help? Or at
Yeah,
least
like,
cleans up after me. I think that would
yes,
be
that's what
nice.
I mean. Just in some way help me in my process.
Yeah. Someone who will decorate the Christmas tree with me and listen to me about how to do it.
Agatha, this is where your oldest sibling energy comes out. Oh my god.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like this is where I've grown because
You will let him.
I will let honestly, if he's a better designer than I am, if he has more of that design eye, I will let him design that Christmas tree. But if I don't
But
like it,
yeah, that's what I mean. You're like, no, 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 no. Don't do that.
yeah,
That's
then
not.
we got to change it.
Oh my god. You sound like a Virgo.
I have no Virgo in my chart.
I know you don't, but you sound like one.
It's just the older sibling energy.
It is. Virgo energy is older sibling energy.
Um Someone who just loves Christmas and winter as much as I do.
Stop. I can't.
Someone who will go out with me when I've had enough time in the house and party with me, while
I
still
mean,
keeping sober enough to make sure I don't get into trouble and to drive me home.
oh my god. I mean, now you guys can Uber somewhere. But in terms of you, or I guess like wanting to hang out when you want to just like let loose and stuff,
Hmm.
is something that you do want. Sometimes you're like, come on, let's hang out.
Yeah, like I want someone who isn't gonna be too opposed to the hangouts.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think I want someone who's more of a partier than I am. I think I prefer having someone who's less so that I can be like the crazier one.
Yeah, I like being crazy.
Yeah, cuz
I like being
I
crazy,
feel like
but
if
join my crazy.
join my crazy but don't out crazy it
Yeah. Because
because
somebody's
I
got to
don't
keep me grounded. So if they're crazier than me, then I'm like, oh God, how do I handle that?
yeah.
How do I handle that level of crazy?
Someone who will pull me out of the house on a cool autumn day
Oh
to
my
go for
God.
a walk around the neighborhood, wrap my thick scarf around my neck, and kiss me on my cold red nose when I complain about it.
You're very poetic.
I mean, this was my fanfic writing days.
True.
Someone who will put up with all my complaining with laughs of his own. I feel like I complain a lot, I'll be honest. And I think if I was with someone who, took my complaining with a grain of salt and wasn't too, um, didn't take it too seriously, I think that would be a match made in heaven.
True.
Because I do complain a lot. So if that does bother someone a lot, then we're not going to get along. You kind of have to, be lighthearted about it. Someone who I can debate with for fun.
Mm-hmm. That is fun.
Now, see, this kind of thing, I don't know if I need necessarily in a partner, because
No,
I kind of
but
get that from other people in my life, like you and my dad,
like me.
the
You're
ENTPs in my life.
you're welcome. We're here to spice things up.
I feel like just because I am attracted to that kind of spirit in people, I will maybe end up with this type of person just by sheer like attraction, but I don't think I need it in a partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's fun, it's nice to have, but I guess like to me more boils down to, can you express and hold an opinion,
Yes. That is exactly it.
you know? Cuz I'm like, I don't want you to be agreeing with me because that's gross.
And I don't want you to just debate with me for the sake of debating,
Yeah,
because that gets annoying.
it does.
But it's just kind of like, if you have a differing opinion than me, don't
Please
be afraid
share
to
it.
express it, and
Yes.
let's talk about it in like
Yes.
a non
It's not that
insulting
serious
manner.
way. Yes. Like they should be respectful and also logical, because if it's emotional, I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah. Someone who is a worthy opponent in an argument, but I still win most of the time.
Ah, I get that. I get that. I get
I
that.
mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's still true. Like,
I know it is. That's why I'm like, you just always want to win.
it's the older sibling energy. How can I not win? I'm the older sibling. We
Oh
always
my god.
win,
No,
you
you
know?
guys don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, you don't.
We're always the smarter one just by sheer age.
Excuse me. Sister, if you're listening, whenever you are.
I'm sure she'll agree.
She will, because she's the older sibling.
No, I won't lie. Martha's
Stupid.
smarter than me, but um
Thank you, Adriana. Are you listening?
a few years ago, up until like maybe recently, I was the smarter one.
That's because
And I had a
she
long running
aged.
streak.
Martha got wise when she grew up.
She did. Uh this one's important. Someone who will never force me into doing something that I don't want to do, especially in the form of guilt.
Ooh. No, that's bad.
I mean, it's a good point to
It's
have.
manipulative. Basically,
I
don't
don't want
be
to be
manipulative.
manipulated.
Yeah. Which should
Oh, and
also.
I guess we're getting deep again. So we skipped all the superficial shit and we're getting
Mhm.
deep. Someone who will never hit me or hurt me in any physical way on purpose ever.
Well, yeah. Just no. Do not hit. For me, I
Oh,
also don't like voice raising.
I agree.
Don't yell at me or insult me.
Yes.
Like, if we're having an argument, it better be logical. None of this, like, I'm gonna, like, hit you where it hurts with
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Why are you bringing this up?
I
That
think
makes me mad.
if someone is mature enough to realize that every disagreement is not a fight, it is just we disagree or we miscommunicated or
Yes.
something went wrong, but we're on the same team and we want to talk it out and come to a solution together.
Yeah.
Like, we're not in this to fight, we're in this to solve our issues.
Yes.
And someone just has to be mature enough to like approach issues that way with you. Someone who will
Exactly.
never abuse me mentally or emotionally or psychologically ever. So, yeah,
You
I'm
disappointed
sorry.
15-year-old Agatha.
I'm sorry, 15-year-old Agatha, for um not realizing this at the time, but hopefully now I have,
Yeah, you
and
have.
hopefully it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
So, good luck to future me.
Yeah.
But remember that point.
Good vibes.
Next one. Someone who is able to think logically. Just like we were just saying.
Yeah.
Gotta be logical and don't just like act on emotion. Like, obviously, people have emotions,
Yeah.
acknowledge them, but try to work through them and try to
Yes.
voice them as best you can.
Yes.
Someone who my family will love like their own.
I mean, yeah, that's the dream.
I think that's important to me. I want my family to like them because I'm
Yeah.
very close with my family, so I want them to get along. I think if they don't get along, that'll be a huge deal breaker. Someone who will be a good father.
Yes.
Someone, oh, okay, this one might be controversial.
Ooh.
Someone who will want and will be able to have kids with me.
Ooh. Well, I mean, that one you won't really know unless if you're like with that person. But then that also might be the end or the cause of the end of your relationship because
Exactly.
this is a life dream of yours.
Exactly. That's
So,
why it is
yeah,
kind of
that one
controversial.
is.
But what if you're also just starting to date and they tell you that for some reason they can't have kids?
Then I feel like, well, I mean, you would maybe stay with them for as long as you can because you do care. But then I feel like in the end,
But isn't that kind of leading them on?
yeah, but sometimes people do things, you know? Or sometimes people hold on to people because they just want to continue whatever they have, what's good
But that's kind of
for as long as they
selfish.
can. It is,
Yeah,
but it does happen.
I know.
So that's why you would have to really look at yourself and be like, am I willing to throw away this dream of mine for them? Or are there any other options? I mean, I think this last point is controversial only because it depends on the person and then
Yeah,
so it seems like it's just like, oh, that's mean, but hey, each person gotta live their own life. If that's your dream, then
yeah.
you do that.
And like maybe I will find someone who is like checks everything off and maybe one day I will decide and I will be confident in the decision to have not have like biological children with them. And
Yeah.
maybe I will be confident in that decision and like whatever. But I think just like being able to recognize that it is something important to me
Mhm. It's
is
important.
important.
It's important to tell your partner that,
Yeah.
like the same way that it's important for the person who can't have kids to
And
let
I
their
might not
partner
be able to
know.
have my own kids. Like that's also a
Exactly.
possibility.
It
And that
is.
is like one of my biggest fears in my life.
Yeah.
The next point, someone who will want to marry me.
Wow. I would certainly hope so.
I mean, there's some people who don't believe in marriage and they don't want to get
True.
married. So I just
But
want
at
someone who
least,
does.
yeah, at least for me, I'm like, yeah, you must marry me.
You must.
You must. You're engaged. We are engaged from day one. No, I'm joking. But I feel like
But it's the same sort of thing, right? Like some people don't
eventually,
see it as an important thing and not see it as a deal breaker, but some people do see it as a deal breaker because they place so much value on marriage.
yeah,
But some
I
people
don't know.
don't.
To me, marriage is like, well, it's like, well, it is a legal thing. Because I'm like, what if I want to see you in the hospital and they won't let me? Or like, like kids, like the securing of the kids and stuff, and like custody and all of that. Um, but then also it's like a symbol, like we are together
Mhm.
in the eyes of the government and society.
Yeah.
We are a unit. So that's
I
why I
agree.
think it's important to me, at least.
And I definitely like respect people who don't believe that,
Yeah.
but a partner, a life partner, I think should share those beliefs. or at least be willing to like bend.
Yeah.
Someone who has ambition.
They better. I want to hear about your day and what you're doing and what your dreams are, what fascinates you, what,
Yeah, like where you're going in life and how you plan to get there.
yeah, like what you discovered today. Like, you know, like, it's like everything always is changing. So, I'm like, what you learned today? That's life. Life is learning, learning and going after things and
I think
grabbing things.
that's definitely like a trait that I admire in like my own dad. Like he's
Yeah, your dad's sick.
48. He's 48 this year, and he is like, I'm only 48, like I want to still climb and like be the plant manager and like climb up in the company, but he can't get any further with just his college diploma. So he's like, I'll get my undergrad degree and then I'll be able to, still progress in my career. And
Mm-hmm.
then he has all these plans for his life. Like he's like, I'm going to get my pilot's license.
I
He's
love
like,
that.
I'm still young. I could literally do anything in my life. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of like drive that I want in a partner. Like someone who is just like so full of life and doesn't
Yes.
limit himself.
Yes. And they're like, you know what? I still could learn more. I still could do more.
Yeah.
And just like keeps going.
And
It's
doesn't think like,
fascinating.
oh, I'm too old for this, like my life is over
Nah.
already. I made my decisions, I lived my life, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you like just there's more things to do. Like you only live one life.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm just like, run, run, people, run. Just go and do things.
I
Because
think
you're
especially
just,
like being his daughter, you know, I'm also
hmm,
like this to a certain extent. I have some of these genes from him, these ambitious genes. I don't want to be the only one
yeah,
in my relationship. I don't want someone to hold me back from my dreams because they're like, oh no, I don't know about this. I want them to like spur me on.
yeah,
At least if they don't have their own ambitions, like at least hype me up.
yes. But then it's also like, I don't know, I guess it's not as fun if you're just like going after things.
And they're not.
Yeah.
But I think that's different. I think if they're willing to help you out when you're like, oh, I want to like start a restaurant or something. And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hell yeah, let's do it. And
Yeah.
I'll do this and I'll do
Yes.
this. Like they're actually willing to
If
step
they're,
up and share the dream with you,
hmm,
then I think that's cool.
yeah. And then I sometimes wonder, I'm like, do I need a planner in my life? Since I suck.
I think you could definitely benefit from one.
I need a planner. Somebody get me a J.
So I only have 2 points left.
Okay.
This took up
Oh
like
yeah.
almost two
Oh
whole
my
pages.
god. I just realized we were still on that list.
Yeah.
We went
This
off
this
topic.
took up almost 2 full pages.
Ooh.
Single spaced. Um someone who will be my best friend and lover tied into one.
I mean, that's always the goal, that your lover
Yeah.
is your best friend.
I think I
But
went
then you
pretty general
also,
on these last two.
yeah. Then you also can't be too much best friend because then
Yeah,
there's
you
no
need that
romance.
passion and that romantic love in
Exactly.
together with that friendship. Otherwise, it's kind of like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's just what is that then?
It's just friendship.
It's just friend. Yeah,
Friendship, we're roommates.
two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Exactly. And lastly, someone who I will love.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, someone can be the perfect person on paper, and then you just don't feel
Yeah,
that love for them.
that's true. And sometimes that
Like,
can take some time for you to realize too,
mhm.
because you can think that it's love, but it's, I don't know, I guess. What is that then?
Like infatuation.
Yeah, like I guess it's infatuation, but then it's like deep, I don't know, admiration for the person. Like
Oh
you're
yeah.
idealizing them. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
See, 15-year-old Agatha knew what was up.
Yeah, maybe I gotta like make a new list and maybe get rid of some of those fantasies of reading books on a couch when it's snowing.
Mm. that one
Especially because I
was
don't read books anymore.
that one was way too specific. Yeah, and
I
I
think
guess
it's not a bad list.
it's not. But then there are also like, I don't know, like what are the the deal breakers or things on that list that you can do without?
Or like what things would you add?
Yeah,
Like what would go on your list now?
on my list specifically,
Yeah.
for
Because
me,
I'm sure
like,
a lot of things we agree on.
yeah, we do. For me, well, I guess for me, I think of immediately like if they are rude, bye.
Exactly, yeah.
If they're dumb, that means I can't have a conversation or a meaningful one. I don't know. If they're not confident in themselves,
Yeah, that's a big one.
yeah,
A lot of my points on that list do just circle back to confidence.
they do.
But I feel like I have this like image in my mind of what my perfect partner is. And I
Hmm.
think I'm just like if I ever find him, I feel like I will know because it'll just be like all I've ever wanted is there. Maybe
Yeah,
that sounds too idealistic, but I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I've been knowing what I want
yeah. Since you were 15.
since I was 15. Even before then, like 15 is just when I put it on paper.
Yeah,
But I just have always like had a vision of who would suit me best. And maybe it's because this person does exist out there already and maybe I have this vision of him and maybe I just need to find him.
wherever
And
he
I
is.
and there definitely are points that are kind of blurry
Hmm.
that are not as important as the other points that I will like settle on or I will like learn to love or whatever. But there are points that I like definitely do want and I think I shouldn't settle on.
Yeah, it can't be your list can't be made of stuff that's just like superficial or that you should already be getting. Like, remembers to buy you a present on your birthday.
Yeah.
Like he better.
But like that's kind of something that I wouldn't even settle for. Like I don't need a list to tell me that, you know?
I know.
It's just kind of like okay, if he doesn't then he's a dick.
Yeah, either that or he's super forgetful, but if he buys you a present a day after or whatever and it's just like happy birthday and then you're like my birthday was yesterday. But he put in like the thought. Maybe. I mean, we're giving this imaginary boyfriend the benefit of the doubt.
A lot of benefit of the doubt.
A lot.
Like you better have some kind of condition if you
Yeah,
forget my birthday.
exactly. Like, you should, like, the things you should look for in a partner shouldn't be simple things that you can find in almost like anyone. Like, say, like, you're like, oh, we love Thai food.
Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Yes, but so like I put it on the list because I just thought like um if he doesn't do this, then obviously I don't want him.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is don't put so much weight on that as if it's like the holy grail, like, wow, he gets me a present for my birthday, he's amazing. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Like, don't do that. Like,
Don't
the
praise the
things,
bare minimum.
yes, the things that should be on your list should be things that are, I guess, like, sustainable in a relationship, that are long term, that are not just like they're there for a moment or whatever. Like, like, simple things. It can't
Yeah.
be it can't be, oh, we have a favorite TV show.
That's why like the people that said like to make a list of the qualities that you want in a future partner, they also said like rank them, give them value,
Yeah.
give them like a number of points, like have a point system or something so that you know which ones you can settle on and which ones you like definitely don't want to settle on. Which
Exactly.
ones you find like very important and which ones are just like if he has these then great.
Mhm. Exactly. And yeah, don't praise him for tiny things. You
Don't praise
deserve
him for the
better.
bare minimum.
You
Like he has
deserve the
good
best.
personal hygiene.
Like, please, please, 15-year-old Agatha, no.
Like, oh my god, he has a skin routine. That's so amazing. He's my
He's my
my
soulmate.
my soulmate.
He's my soulmate because I won't get acne.
He's my soulmate because he uses deodorant.
He's my soulmate because he cares about himself to keep himself clean.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
You can distinguish someone who is just a decent human being
Yes. Versus,
versus a, an exceptional partner for you.
yes, someone who you could see long term and not just short term.
Yeah.
It also depends what you're looking for. Like, if you're just looking for a hookup or whatever, or just someone to talk to, then a
But that
lot of
depends
those
on the
things don't
person you
really
are.
matter. Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I don't think I am the type of person to look for a hookup because I tend to like romanticize
Yeah,
every
you're.
relationship I'm in.
Yeah,
And if I tell myself I'm just looking for a hookup, I feel like I'm lying to myself
it's just like, no,
because
no,
I
no.
know what
You
I
want to
really want.
marry them. You want to marry
Exactly.
them. It's like, yeah, you're right.
I'm like, who am I kidding? I'm looking for a husband. But that doesn't mean that I should be desperate to find a husband. That just means that my standards are high for myself,
Yes.
but also not saying that someone who looks for hookups has low standards. Obviously, it's just
No,
like,
it just depends what they want,
yeah.
what's right for them.
And I just know that I get emotionally attached and I romanticize because what I truly want is a life partner.
Yeah,
And
but
even
you're
though I lie
aware
to
of that.
myself, I try to be. Sometimes I do fall into the delusion of like, I just want to hook up.
And I'm
No,
like,
Agatha.
Agatha, you're in love. And you're like, what's love? I don't know feelings.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's complicated.
Dating's complicated.
It is. Good luck to when we start doing that again.
Because then, like, once you find somebody, because it's so hard to just like find a connection with somebody, period.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do find it, you have this need to hold on to it. And that's
Yeah.
when your standards start to lower.
Yes. Which is dangerous.
And that's how I ended up in my last relationship.
You gotta learn to let go.
And I think it all comes down to building up yourself so that you are always better off single than with someone who's not up to your standards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I never want to be afraid of being single. I never want that fear to overpower my decision making on my potential future partner.
Yeah.
Because that's a scary place to be in. Where you're so afraid of being single again that you just like
you just
want
desperately
to hold on.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you think, oh, it's so hard to find somebody
better than being by myself.
Exactly. I'm just gonna like stick to this person, even though
they're not everything that I wanted.
They're not ideal. Like, might as well. Because it's better than being alone and waiting for something that might never come.
That's so wild to me.
But I don't know. Like, I may be jaded now, and I may have this fear that a man will never live up to my standards now.
Nah.
Like, I have this fear that, like, most men suck and all the good men are, like, so hard to find, or they're taken, or something. Like, they're just, like, there's so few of them. That's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe I will just end up alone. Because I think women are awesome.
Women are great. There's
There's so many
good ones.
So many good ones.
And
Like, I could name so many. And men are so lucky to like have so many beautiful, amazing, successful, kind women to choose from.
Kind women who
and
also
I'm so
communicate.
Yeah.
And are good with feelings. And have a great support system in their life so that.
And so many hobbies.
Yeah.
And so ambitious and like. And funny.
Yeah. And then you look at like.
And beautiful, obviously.
A guy's like friend group. And there's like one.
There's one good one.
One good one.
And he's not even that great. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if this is controversial, but I feel like men really have to step it up.
I mean, sometimes they can get stuck in their ways and they don't realize that it's not good. And they're like, whatever. Come step down, you princess.
I don't know. I know so many like awesome women who are stuck in relationships with men who are so like, I don't know, like
trash.
I'm
like, you can say it.
And like, I guess I was one of them. I feel weird saying that, but like, yeah.
Well, you admit it.
You know what I mean?
He was trash.
And like, you don't notice it because you just think like men suck, and I found like a decent one.
Yes.
So I might as well cling on to him because all the other men suck. And it's not just like out of, I don't think that it's a self-confidence issue, at least maybe it was a little bit with me, but it wasn't like I'm afraid that no one will love me. I'm just like, I'm afraid that I won't find a man that's better than this.
Yeah. Or that you can find that connection that you craved. Or at least that he checked off some points on your list that you felt were important to you. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
but he's great, but you choose to look at the good
Mm-hmm.
and oversee the bad.
Exactly.
Then eventually it's gonna come out.
I think there are great guys. Like, I can name a few. I can name, like, maybe a handful.
A handful, good, better than none.
And, like, it should give me hope that that maybe there is a man out there for me.
There is.
But what if some other girl has him already? And, like, women are so great.
Listen,
Like,
it's COVID right
she's worth
now.
it.
You don't want it.
But that's the thing, like, I don't know, what
I know,
makes
I
me
always think that.
special as a woman if, like, so many women are great?
I know, I think that too, and I'm like, dang it, why are we women so good?
I know, why is the bar so high for women?
Yeah.
Like,
Why are we great?
and how are we all supposed to find men that are on our level?
I know, this is what I think about too. And I'm like,
Are there enough good men to go around?
right? I think
This is
about
something I should
that.
talk to my therapist about.
And I'm like, I
I'm
think
seeing her on
so.
Thursday.
Okay,
I mean, it's after this
tell
episode comes
me.
out.
Maybe you can
So.
edit it. You're like, so my therapist said this because I also need to know.
I'll
Because
let you know.
that's also a thought that I have.
And I think it's always a good thing to keep in mind that life can change so quickly in so little time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only 22 and 23. There's so
Yeah.
much life ahead of us.
We have so much to do and experience.
Yeah. I mean, look how much our lives changed in the matter of a few months.
Exactly.
So think about how much can change in the rest of our 20s,
Oh God.
even our 30s.
Oh God. Change is good.
Mm-hmm.
Change is more experiences. Become wiser.
Yeah, hopefully not make the same mistakes twice.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you
You
do it
live and
twice,
you
hopefully not a
learn.
third time. I think also just another thing that I want to keep in mind for whoever the next person is that I date. I just want to make sure that he's someone that I'm proud of and that I think is interesting.
Yes.
And not just because of how they treat me.
Yeah.
Because anyone could do that.
Exactly. Put in a little bit of effort, and then that's it. But then eventually they stop trying. Moral of the story is
Basically, like, when are we going to know that we're ready to start dating? And then what are we looking for, basically? And how
yeah.
do we know when we found it?
I mean, I don't think you can know.
I think bring that list out.
Yeah, it's bring that
Read it
list
out.
out, but you also have to take the time to get to know the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, maybe he doesn't hit you right now, but then you learn one day after making him angry, and he does.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
scary.
Right? And then maybe by then you're ready to invest it, and you're like, oh no, but I love him.
Also, don't feel guilty and don't feel like, oh, I've invested so much, so I have to stick it out. I think if circumstances change
Mm-hmm.
and like the best decision at that point would be to leave, then leave.
Yeah.
Like, you're not committed to a relationship that isn't serving you anymore or is damaging you in the long run,
Like no
even if you're
matter,
married.
yeah, no matter what stage you're in or how many years it's been.
Yeah. But just like with
Um,
anything, I don't know, like having something be permanent scares me.
your Venus in Aquarius.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Because it's scary to be committed to something forever, not knowing, because things change so often and so suddenly that you can't be like, yes, I will be with you forever no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, what if you like kill someone? I don't know.
Yeah, because you can never fully truly know somebody.
And
I think I,
even,
I don't think even you can know yourself until you've like say like it's a completely new experience that you're that you're experiencing.
yeah,
um, and since you've never faced it before, you don't know how you'll react, and you react in a way that you didn't expect.
exactly.
And so then how can you expect somebody else to know you
If you don't
always?
even know yourself.
Exactly. I feel
Yeah.
like we're always learning something about ourselves, no matter what age we are. I don't know. I feel like you can know somebody, I guess, to the point where you can make predictions.
Hmm.
So, like, you know that they're this kind of person with this kind of character. So, it's
Yeah.
more likely that they'll act in this way. Kind of like your pre programmed universe thing. They're more likely to choose option A than B. So, like, I know that they wouldn't hit me. And if they did, then what the heck?
Or I believe that they wouldn't hit me.
Yeah. Or I believe that they're a good, or that they have qualities that would make them a good dad.
Yeah. That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? That's like the theme of this whole podcast too, is like we don't know what we're doing.
No, we don't.
And we're trying to figure it out day by day, do what we can to the best of our knowledge at the moment,
Yeah, because we're learning every
and
day.
see what happens.
No
Try our
regrets.
best, no regrets.
Because every decision we make would would have been made anyway.
Yes, exactly. Because we only have the knowledge that we have.
Exactly. There's only so much you can do about it.
If you had more knowledge, you would have made a different decision, but you didn't. So
Go to
you made the
sleep.
decision that you made. Go to sleep.
That's it. Stop thinking about it. You were good.
Yeah.
You did what you felt was right with the
And if you
acknowledge that
have
you had.
regrets about a decision that you made, I think that's a good sign because that shows that you've learned since then.
Yeah.
And if you're faced with the same decision because of those regrets that you have, you won't make that same decision again.
Or I mean, even if you make it again, that means you just needed to learn it again some more.
But I
It's like
think if you have regrets, you're less likely to make that decision again because of those regrets that sort of haunt you.
yeah, but sometimes people even still haunted by regrets will still do the same thing. Maybe
I guess you're
unknowingly
right.
or wanting to think that it's not the same, but it
Oh,
is.
yes, yes. Yeah, you're right. But then if they think that it's not the same, even though it is, then that's a new experience that they had to have. Like
Exactly.
they had to see that situation from that other angle to realize that it was the same situation.
Yeah, basically.
to then not make the same mistake the third time.
Yes. Or fourth time, or
fourth
whatever it
time. Who
takes.
knows how many times it takes?
You're learning day by day.
Yeah. And that is the moral of the story. And the point of this podcast is just like, I think, so like, a lot of times when I talk out of my ass, sort of.
Always.
Always.
That's our specialty.
That was this whole episode. And the past one. I think about, like, this is what I believe now at my age that I am now, and then in the future I'll look back and be like, oh my god, Agatha, you're so stupid. Why would you say that stuff out loud?
But only because this was the knowledge that you had at the time.
Exactly. And I think as long as I acknowledge that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm only 23 and a half, and these are my feelings and these are my thoughts at this moment in my life. But in the future I may look back and say that I was dumb and I didn't know. But I'm giving myself, like, all these, like, disclaimers.
Yeah, like you gave 15-year-old self.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what? Pretty good.
Pretty good for not having any real life experience. Like, exactly. I think her thoughts were pretty wise.
They were, and very poetic.
The snow through the window is just a blanket of white.
I love that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I still want that. Maybe not reading books, but maybe, like, watching Netflix or something.
Netflix.
Yeah. It's evolved into Netflix.
Yeah.
That's the 2020 version.
But yeah, none of us know what we're doing.
No. But I think as long as you acknowledge it and you're okay with it, then there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah.
And just go on with your life and live it day by day and just make decisions that you're happy with and proud of in the moment.
Yeah. No regrets.
So, all that being said, thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you, Andrea, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I also want to say, from the last episode, that message box is still up. I'm going to link it in the description of this episode. It is a Google form. You can click the link and then submit a text-based message. It'll be anonymous. I won't know who you are. Anything that you want us to discuss, we can. Any sort of problem you might have that you want our opinion on, maybe you just need a second opinion. I don't know. We're not doctors, but
no, we're not. Like we said,
maybe
we were talking out of our asses.
Exactly, we're talking about out of our asses, but maybe you want to hear it. Maybe you just want that second opinion.
Maybe.
And there's also a Anchor link where you can submit a voice message, but that one is not anonymous, I believe. I think it does ask you to, like, submit your name, but you could just do, like, an alias or something. I don't really care. But obviously, like, your voice I will hear. But if you're a stranger, then I won't recognize it. So there's that.
Or you can change your voice.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Talk
put
through
on, like,
a fan.
a deep voice. Talk through a fan.
Honestly, if you're that dedicated, I would be impressed.
I would be very impressed, yes. And I also want to say, please rate the podcast, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcasting platform you use. Please leave a review. Support the podcast, please. If you like it, share it with a friend. It'd be really cool. Yeah, and I will see you next week in the mushroom.